welcome back to Butterflies and Angels. I thought that since this week we have a full moon starting tonight, and on the 19th, which is Friday, is the last night of the full moon. It's always 3 nights, and the third night is always the strongest. We also have a lunar eclipse. So a lot of energy going on. I thought it might be a good idea to do a group reading. And as we've talked about before, with group readings, my intention is always set that whatever messages come through will be for whoever is meant to see it. So if you happen to run across this or you feel drawn to it even at a later date, there might be something in here for you. With a group reading, it may only be 1 or 2 things that kind of hit you and are a little, hey, that kind of resonates with me. Maybe I should pay a little bit of attention to that. And so with all this energy going on, I thought it would be a great idea to see what the archangels have to say about that. This deck that I'm using is not a traditional tarot deck. This is the Archangel tarot deck. And I, as you know, work with angels. And a lot of people have some negative ideas and maybe even a little fear surrounding traditional tarot. So I prefer to use the angel deck just because it softens that a little bit for a lot of people. So we're just going to kind of see what happens here, see what messages come through for us. And if there's something that resonates for you, I hope that it is helpful to you. So let's see what the angels have to say. And the card on the bottom is the 5 of Gabriel. And Archangel Gabriel is the archangel, of course. He is the one that announced that Mary was pregnant with Jesus. So Gabriel is known, one of the things that Gabriel is known for is being the messenger angel, and also having to do with working with writers and musicians and preachers, teachers, anyone having to do with messages. Also, Gabriel has to do with parents and children. And so very good to call upon Archangel Gabriel if you're having an issue with your child. So this one is the one that's on the bottom. So that's kind of maybe an underlying issue for somebody. Maybe it could even just be that you need to pay a little bit more attention to your messages from your angels. But that's our underneath card. So we'll put that there. And then we'll see what comes up for us. And the next one that we have is Archangel Raguel, Justice. Now, with the full moon is about releasing things and it's about ending things and letting things go. So, this is the card of justice, which means that if there's something maybe that you need to forgive, maybe it's time to forgive that. Or it could be that if there's somebody that has wronged you and you're waiting on this situation to work itself out, you're working towards resolving an issue with somebody. Could even be if you've been wrongly accused of something. But justice is important. And one of the biggest things to do with justice a lot of times has to do with forgiveness. And as we're moving into a full moon, a time of releasing, it's a very good time to forgive something. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean that you're saying what happened was okay. It just means you're not willing to allow that energy to go with you anymore. You're not willing to hang on to it. You're not willing to let it affect you and cause issues for you. So if there is someone that you need to forgive, this might be you could just set the intention to try to forgive them, because sometimes it can be hard, especially if somebody has really hurt you. But full moon is a very good time to at least make the intention to start working towards forgiving it and letting it go. Okay, our next card here is the 4 of Gabriel. So we've got Archangel Gabriel again. So 4s kind of have to do with stability, and we've got Gabriel here. We've got a man and a woman and a gazebo. I love gazebos. And we've got an angel up here. So it could be that if you're working towards a relationship. It may be time to listen to something somebody's trying to say to you and actually get the message of what they're trying to say. Or it could be time to speak your truth. If there's something you've been holding back saying that really does need to be said. Now, I will interject and say this. For me personally, I found that, full moons affect people differently. And we all know some people go crazy, but it does really intensify emotions and feelings. And so it may not be the best time during the full moon to have that conversation, but it would be a good idea to have the intention of having the conversation, maybe make plans towards having the conversation and figure out exactly how you want to say it and what you want to say. But it sounds like it's time definitely to deliver that message or to receive the message. Now, again, I do want to talk just a minute about the eclipse, because this eclipse happens to be in Taurus. Taurus is a very grounding sign, a very hardworking sign, and I don't claim to be an expert on astrology, but I know a little bit about it. If I share something with you, it's something that I'm confident about. If not, I will move along because I don't want to give you any misinformation. But with the eclipse, an eclipse is about speeding up energy and changes happening rapidly. It's also about revealing things that may have been hidden. And our underneath card was Gabriel. There may be an underlying message that the angels are trying to send you personally, or that someone is trying to give you personally, that maybe you've taken the wrong way. Maybe you didn't completely understand what they meant by it, or maybe you're having a hard time grasping and understanding it and working with it. So it can be a time with the eclipse having rapid changes. If you're willing to work with the energy, it may be like an aha moment, because now that I think about it and alone, and I settle down and I kind of let the energy go, and the anger, and if it upset you or it made you sad or it hurt your feelings, if you kind of let that go, let in a little bit of forgiveness, then maybe all of a sudden the message will make a little bit more sense to you. So important to pay attention to those messages. And again, I want to mention that angels have all kinds of ways, and I'll do a video on that another time, but there's several different ways that angels send us messages, and it usually starts out extremely in a very subtle form. And then if you're not catching on, then they may go a little further and get louder and louder with something and try to really help you to see it. Also, once they realize that you are noticing it and you are picking it up, they'll send you more of the same thing. And what I mean by that is, if you happen to see triple numbers on a license plate number, 555, or if you are seeing 1111 on the clock, and we all know that 1111 is a master number and has to do with spirituality and all of that. But if you're starting to notice things like that, the more you notice it, the more they're going to send you more things like that, because they're saying, oh, okay, she gets it. She's paying attention. She noticed that. So let's send her more. Okay. And let's go ahead and pull the last card, and that is the 9 of Michael. 9 also has to do with completion, and full moons are about endings. A completion of a cycle is 9. And Michael, of course, is the archangel of protection. So know that as you're going through these changes, if something has to end in order for something new to start, and that's why we have a full moon, and then a couple weeks later we have a new moon, so that we have time for new beginnings and for manifesting something new. The full moon is about releasing and letting go, forgiving, and all of that, ending what needs to be ended, and then 2 weeks later. Generally about 2 weeks later, we have the new moon, which is about new beginnings and starting again. And so Archangel Michael is with you for this. Archangel Michael is the protector. He gives you strength. He kind can cut the energy cords. If you're having a problem letting go of something, you can ask Archangel Michael to help you, because any relationship, as you may or may not know, that any relationship whatsoever you have with anybody has energy cords attached to it. And some of them are good and some of them are bad. And it goes along with memories and things of that such too, and things that happened. And if you're trying to forgive something and you're trying to release something and you're having a really hard time, you can ask Archangel Michael to cut that cord for you. And all the good healthy cords will stay, but that one will be severed, and it will help you to move on. Now, I will let you know that if you choose to do this, and a full moon is a great time to do it, but generally when that happens, the other person does feel it as well. So depending on the whole situation and what's going on with it, don't be surprised, because you may or may not hear from that person, because they will feel the energy cord cut as well. And, you know, they don't have the full understanding of everything, but they will know that something is going on with you. So you might get a phone call out of the blue. So, so there we go with that. So I would like to encourage you. So I had to use my glasses so that I can read the cards, because I'm getting to be an old lady. But I would encourage you to take advantage of the energies of the full moons and the new moons. They can be very helpful. It is a good time to have that cleansing. There's all kinds of different meditations that you can do. You can find them on YouTube. There's all kinds of rituals that you can do as far as if you need to let something go. But if you're really having a hard time and carrying something around that is really affecting you and burdening you, this would be a great time to forgive it, release it, and let it go. If you need to have a conversation with somebody, if you need to accept a message and work through that, this is also a good time. Again, I would not have a deep, heartfelt conversation during a full moon, especially if you're an emotional person or empath, or if the other person is. This is not a great time to get into a really deep emotional discussion, because it's going to be amplified. But it is a good time to think about those things, to journal about it, but definitely take advantage of the energy of the full moon and the lunar eclipse, because it is there to help you, and it can do amazing things for you. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give me a like. Please remember to subscribe for more videos like this. And I am going to start doing a weekly reading, just a 3-card pull, and try to do that every week for you. Again, it'll be a group reading. Please excuse my space here. I still am trying to get my actual working space set up. This is actually just my guest room / office. But I will have a better setup for you soon. I'm in the process of getting that together, and I ask that you pray for me with that, and that we can get that done soon. But I would like to start doing those for you, because I think they can be helpful. And again, there may be one thing only that resonates for you, and it may not resonate at all. And I may not be the reader for you. There just may not be that you connect, and that's okay. But do find someone if you need to, and look out there. And you can also buy cards and do readings for yourself. The angels can speak to you just like they can speak to me. So you can do your own readings as well, but a lot of times it is helpful to hear it from somebody else, and to hear it through the ways that the angels have chosen to present it. So once again, I'm Sandra Bale with Butterflies and Angels. I hope this was helpful to you. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful full moon and a great weekend. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.